Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol. जय जय श्री राधा माधव की जय, जय जय श्री विघ्न विनाश नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय, भक्त शिरोमणि भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय, पतित पावन श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गौर प्रेमानंद महाराज की जय. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thanks for giving the
Hare
service.
Krishna, Mathaji. Thank you for your melodious voice and the service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Let us welcome Sindu Mathaji for today's topic, that is Chapter 4 on Transcendental Knowledge. Hare Krishna, Mathaji. Hare Krishna, Sindu Mathaji. You are on mute, Mathaji. Mathaji, you are on mute. Okay, okay, Mathaji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear
Hare
devotees.
Krishna, Mathaji.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I think today we are going to do Chapter 4. Let me share the PPT. Just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second, Prabhu. I will just get the...
Yes, Mathaji, please.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'm extremely sorry. I muted myself once more. So it took a minute for us to get that sorted out. So today we are going to thank you once again for giving me this opportunity, and thank you once again for joining this morning session for Bhagavad Gita. Today we are going to go through Chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita, which is entitled as Transcendental Knowledge. Let's begin with a prayer. Transcendental knowledge is very, very subtle knowledge, and it can be unrevealed, or it can be realized only by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. In fact, it is mostly the mercy of a Guru who recommends to Krishna that this knowledge is revealed, or Krishna shows his mercy he will not directly show the mercy. He will only show the mercy through a guru. And that's why this is very important for us to actually pray to the parampara, the entire parampara. We keep talking, the last few days I've been talking about parampara. Today we are going to see what that parampara is, because this chapter entitled Transcendental Knowledge deals with what knowledge is and what is parampara and how do we acquire this knowledge. So without further ado, let's begin with today's class with a prayer. Please do join your hands with me and chant the mantra. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjashalakaya Chachurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatate Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srinivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's all bow down to our founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And our Shiksha Guru Suranath Prabhu, and start this session. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome once again. And we usually start with a review of the previous day's class. So where we left off and why we are studying the new chapter as Transcendental Knowledge, the connection between chapter 3 and chapter 4. Why did Krishna suddenly switch gears to give us the Transcendental Knowledge? We'll see that. So yesterday's acronym was TREE. It started off with Tyaga. T stands for Tyaga, which is renunciation, and we saw different kinds of renunciation. One was a true renunciation and one is a false renunciation. Yukta Vairagya and Falgu Vairagya. Falgu Vairagya is false because many of the nowadays guru, they are actually renouncing the world, saying I don't want this or I don't want this, this is not good for me because it causes karma bandhana. But their mind is still attached to these Vishaya or sense objects. So that is not a true renunciation. So how do we understand true renunciation? True renunciation is when you renounce the worldly objects for sense gratification or for using it for yourself. When you use it in service of Krishna, then you are in proper renunciation. That's why we understand that true renunciation is not about giving up objects, it is giving up the attitude to enjoy the object. Bhogavancha. Right? I want to enjoy. Bhoga means the material desires and happiness for sense gratification. Bhogavancha. We have to give up that bhogavancha. That is what it tells. Then we understood what regulated. How do we do that bhogavancha? We have to give up that. How do we give up that? By regulating our activities. Everything that we do is connected to a result, whether it is pious activity or impious activities. Everything has a result. It causes, there is a cause and effect. And we saw that even having food will cause sinful reactions for us, right? So there are different yoga ladders. We started off as karmis, right? Without even scriptural injunction, we just do eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And then from there we rise up to the karma kanda level, where we do regulative principles like yajnayadi, or doing some kind of ritualistic activity with the mentality that okay, I have to do it. If I don't do it, there is some karma pala, or if I don't do it, I won't get the benefit. Then there is, above that is sakama. Sakama is I want a promotion. So 48 days I'm going to do Vishnu Parayana, right? Vishnu Sahasrama Parayana. So something like that. Although we are doing it for Krishna, although we are doing it for the Lord, we have an intention behind it, or we have a desire behind it. That is a third rung of the ladder. The last rung of the ladder is becoming a Nishkama Karma Yogi. So when we start regulating our activities, whether it is eating, whether it is our daily activity, then slowly we start climbing that ladder towards Nishkama Karma Yoga. Then how do we do it? Theoretically, there are so many books, there are so many ways, so many processes defined. But the best way is to just follow an Acharya, whoever has achieved it, right? Theoretically it is saying that, but whoever has practically achieved it, whoever has gone through the problems while achieving it and was able to achieve, we start following them, we start looking at them. It's not imitation, one-to-one imitation, that's not what it is. But we have to at least say, okay, they get up in the morning, take a bath and start doing the puja, I should also do it. Not just for the name's sake we imitate, no, not that. We have to understand the background, and we have to, some yogis and Goswamis, they don't live in a home, they will live under a tree and they won't even get attached to the tree. Next day they will go. We are not imitating them by giving up all our family and going and staying under a tree. But they get up in the morning and they chant. Let me try and chant. That is what the following means. You shouldn't imitate. Then the next one we saw that the lust is the enemy. Krishna says, Arjuna asks, yeah, all this is good, Krishna. I am also trying to follow all these things, but there is some propensity in me which will drive me towards sense gratification. Then Krishna answers, that is lust. And lust has its seats in all the sense organs, in the mind and in the intelligence. And how do we get rid of it? We can get rid of it by improving our intelligence or making our intelligence strong. So we left off there. Lust is a cause for you to push. It pushes all your senses towards sense gratification. Then Krishna gives a solution. The only way to control the senses is through the mind, and the only way to control the mind is through the intelligence. Now, how do I make my intelligence strong? By knowledge. And that's why we are in today's chapter, which is knowledge. So that is the connection between third chapter and fourth chapter is lust. How to get rid of lust? By making intelligence strong. Intelligence can be made strong by this transcendental knowledge, and that is what, and now we are understanding what is that transcendental knowledge. How do I acquire that transcendental knowledge? So first of all, transcendental knowledge is eternal. It is not like something that you pass an exam and you forget it, or you take up a next janma and you forget this knowledge. No, it is eternal. Janma it will get carried out. And then it is very accurate understanding. It is not very vague. It is not very it will give you some solutions in our life or some knowledge in our life. You think you're reaching the goal, but it will deviate you again. There's so much more you have to do to go to the goal. This is not like that. It will directly take you to the final destination or the goal. Then reactionless akarma. Yesterday we kind of touched upon it. Today we are going to read a little more about how to perform activities which has no reactions. How do I do that, and what kind of reactions are those, or what kind of actions those are? And then surrender. See, to acquire knowledge also you have to have some prerequisites, right? And we'll understand how do I get that prerequisite where I will be able to accept this knowledge, right? It is very difficult for some of us to accept this knowledge, and we'll see what does it take to accept this knowledge. Then today's acronym is years. Years is for hearing. Through hearing, you'll get knowledge. So you can remember it like that. So E stands for eternal knowledge, E stands for accurate understanding, R stands for reactions or karma, and then S stands for surrender. Why do we need to surrender? To accept the knowledge, okay? This is not like becoming a slave or anything like that. No, it is not that. What it is trying to say is, how do you trust, the knowledge that you are getting? How can you trust? How do you trust? What is the mechanism by which I can say, okay, this is the authentic information that I can trust, okay? Now, this part of it we had already discussed in the first class when we did the introduction of Bhagavad Gita. So what is that? This knowledge is eternal. The origin and descent of Bhagavad Gita. How did Bhagavad Gita come to us? It was given by Lord Sri Krishna. And how did it descend? We already know this, that it descended from Krishna to Vivaswan, the sun god. From Vivaswan, sun god, it went to Manu. From Manu, it went to Ikshvaku, and then in disciplinic succession. Now, there is it is very difficult for us also to understand how does Krishna know this, right? Krishna has come, and how does he know this? So the same question Arjuna has. See, if there is a person talking to you every day, and your cousin, say your cousin or your family member, he says some 5,000 years ago this happened. Then you'll ask, how do you know? He may say, oh, I read it in a book, or I looked it up in internet. That's how I know. Now, in those days, none of those things were there. So how does Krishna know? So that is a question that Arjuna has. Who can acquire that very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my friend and your devotee. First of all, he says, I will not reveal this. It's a mystery, O Arjuna. I will not reveal this because you are my friend, dear friend and your devotee. You trust me, and that's why I'm revealing it to you. In the future verses it will come, but I'll give you a glimpse of it. Why Krishna is able to say that 5,000 years ago this happened or that happened. He tells to Arjuna, oh Arjuna, you and me were born, we were existing. In 5,000 years ago, we were existing. It is not that there was never a time when you and me never existed. We are existing always. But the problem is, you have forgotten, but I remember. See, if you take a body, and if you're born and if you die, right? Atma is not dying, only your body is dying, because you have a starting point for this body and an ending point for this body. You have a timeline, right? You're captured in a timeline. This body is captured, right? For example, a person lives 60 years. That person is captured for 60 years in the timeline chart. Okay, not the Atma, just the body. In case of Krishna, he is eternal. There is no time for him, because Krishna does not take different bodies. He is always existing. Krishna does not have a past, present and future. There is no time for Krishna. Okay, all of us also are like that, except when we take the body. When we take the body, we are captured in time. When we are without the body, when we are, the Atma is spiritual, and spirituality does not have time. Spirituality does not have two things. One is time and the other is space. Okay, it's continuously existing. There is no, like, you're present, you're not present. No, it's always there. And that's why if you go to higher planetary system, the time expands in the higher planetary system. That is one. And if you go to the true spiritual world, there is no time. There is no like 50 years ago or 1 year ago. There is nothing like that. Oh, it is morning now, it is evening now. That will not be there. It is taken out. Okay. So here Krishna is bringing in that concept, saying that, oh, Arjuna, for you, you have birth and death. And that's why when you take birth, what happens is you will forget what the body experienced in the previous birth. Okay, whatever situations and scenarios you went through in the previous birth, you would have forgotten that. But for Krishna, because he is not taking up the body, it is like a person who's watching a movie, 10 movies if he watches in a day, he will remember all 10 movies, right? But a person who watched only one movie, he will know only that. The next movie, when he goes, he'll forget. It is very difficult for a person who is taking birth to remember previous birth, because body is changed. But for Krishna, there is no body. That is the essence of the difference between us and Krishna. Okay, and Krishna can be realized in 3 different ways. We'll come to that also. So first thing here, Krishna is saying, I gave this knowledge. What is this? This transcendental knowledge, the spiritual knowledge to Vivaswan. Vivaswan gave it to Manu and everything. And Arjuna immediately poses a question. How do you know? 5,000 years ago, you're my cousin. You're of my same age as me. How do you know? And then Krishna says, you and me existed back then also. You have forgotten, but I have not. The only reason, because we take different bodies and Krishna doesn't. When we take different bodies, we forget what happened in the previous body. Till there we've understood. Now, disciplinic succession. So this is the Guru Parampara. This ISKCON is established in Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Okay. Why it is like that? There are actually 4 sampradayas. The first sampradaya is Sri Parampara. It is coming from Shri Lakshmi. Shri means Lakshmi, it is coming from Lakshmi. Second one is Rudra Parampara. You all know Rudra is none other than Shiva. So it is coming from Shiva. The third one is Brahma Sampradaya, which is our Sampradaya in ISKCON, and it is coming from Brahmaji. Then the fourth one is Kumara Sampradaya, and that Sampradaya is coming from 4 Kumaras. Now, each of these sampradaya was established by an acharya. Now you may ask, how is that? See, there are revelations which happened or realizations which came through for those acharyas, the highest level of realization where they were actually able to see Krishna also. Because of their Shuddhikaran, right? Because of their Shuddhikaran, they were able to see Krishna also. And that's why they established, they found the truth and they are giving that truth as is. So first Shri Sampradaya is Ramanujacharya, second Rudra Parampara is Vishnu Swami, Brahma Parampara is Madhvacharya, and Kumara Parampara is Nimbarkacharya. Now, if you see, this is a disciplinic succession. Krishna here, from Krishna was 1, 2 is Brahma, from there 3 is Narada, Vyasa, Madhva. Right? That is how this sampradaya grew. In the next slide, you can actually see the members. Our AC Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada is 32nd member in this parampara. See how Krishna gave it to Brahma, he gave it to Lakshmi ji, he gave it to Shivji, and he gave it to the 4 Kumaras. So there are 4 branches from Krishna. All the other paramparas are gone. That means it is misled now. It's broken. Only this Brahma Madhya Gaudiya Sampradaya is coming. Now you may ask, what is Gaudiya? If you see in the previous slide, I showed you Gaudiya, right? Brahma is Brahmaji himself. Madhvacharya established this parampara, and that's why we have Madhvacharya, who is the authentic person who started this parampara. Gaudiya, because it ended, it went to Bengal. Okay, this Madhva Sampradaya ended up in Bengal at the last, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and even AC Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada is a Bengali, and that's why we have this Gaudiya also in that. Okay, so Krishna is giving all this information to Arjuna to prove that this information, transcendental information, how do we get it? We can't just get it from somebody's mind, something came. No, it is not like that. And if you look at Bhagavad Gita itself, when Prabhupada was asked a question, oh, you've written a great translation for Bhagavad Gita, you did a magnanimous work. Prabhupada said, I did not do anything. It was already there by Baldev Vidyabhushan and Vishwanath Chakravarti. All these translations were already there in the parampara. He consolidated it. He took the important points. If you look at Bhagavad Gita as it is in the purport, right? Every shloka has a description below. And in those description, Prabhupada writes, in translation, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti has said this. Baldev Vidyabhushan has said this. You can see in the parampara itself, here you can see Sri Baldev Vidyabhushan is coming. Okay, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is also coming here. So it is already there. He is not concocting any new ideas from himself. So he says, I did not do anything. It was already there. And that is the right way, because we cannot concoct our own ideas and give the the truth to others. We have to have some evidence. We have to have that proof, and that proof is in the Acharya Parampara. And why Parampara? Because Parampara preserves the teaching, and it is like a parrot. It came from Krishna to Brahma. Brahma repeated it exactly like that only to Naraji. Before, people had very good memory. They could remember. Nowadays, people don't have memory in Kali Yuga, and that's why it is written in a book. For us, we can't. So that's why we have to depend on Srila Prabhupada's books, the Goswami's books. We have to depend on those books for those truth. What did Krishna want from us, right? And the purpose and the mood is preserved. This is very important. See, many people will translate it for name and fame and for money. Okay, but this thing is written by Srila Prabhupada. This parampara, it only propagates bhakti. They do not expect anything. Some of the acharyas, their work, they say, don't even, it's anonymous. You can't even find who the author is, and there is so much of truth in it. So they did not want name, they did not want, and many of the Goswamis, even in today in Vrindavan, they are unknown to the entire world, but they are performing lot of bhakti, and they are helping people perform bhakti, but they want to be unknown to the entire world. So that is the mood, because bhakti is itself is enough when compared to puja lab pratishtha. Puja lab pratishtha is a very low level rung of the ladder. So nobody is interested in that. Material gains, nobody is interested. Name and fame, no. They are very content in bhakti itself. Bhakti itself will give you everything. You don't need all that. So a person who's experienced that will try to give you only that. A person who's not experienced bhakti and the happiness and peace in bhakti will try to show off. See, I was able to translate this Bhagavad Gita. I have given a commentary. They want to show off, right? Because they are finding some little bit like a bubble happiness in that. And that's why they will do it. But people who've seen bhakti, if you've like the higher taste and lower taste that we saw yesterday, right? When you've seen that higher taste, you don't need name and fame. You don't want people to come and fall to your leg and say, oh, you are such a Vedantis, because they're finding better happiness. So that is a purpose and mood. And every word, every letter, Prabhupada writes, he contemplates and he takes the Acharya's explanation and he tries to give it in a very like baby formula. He gives it to us, because even those Acharyas, they talk it at a very high level. We can't catch that, right? That is a mood in which it is written. No personal motivation in interpretation. They did not propaganda, they did not do any propaganda to a certain thing, right? They are not forcing you to look at certain things. They are only telling you what the reality is, which we have to wake up. We are all sleeping, we are all dormant in bhakti. We have to wake up to that reality, and that's what they are trying to say. And it is very transparent via media. That means anything which is said can be proved, and they have lived that life. It is not just that they are saying, they have lived that life, and that's why they are giving it. Learn, follow, and teach the principle. You also start following, like the prasadam that you've started putting, right? You will have lot of impact by that. Once you experience that, you want to give it to your family. Once you experience that, you want to give it to your friends. And compassion automatically starts in your heart, so that you want to start preaching. So nobody forces you to be in this. Nobody expects you to be perfect in this, because we are all in the process. Sometimes a person who's 10 years in bhakti and a person who's suddenly come, there'll be a difference. This person who's come suddenly may have more bhakti. So in bhakti, all of us are same. All of us are struggling to reach that peak. So there is nothing like, it is, you have to be perfect from day one. No, you can be, all of us are sadhakas, and all of us can preach. The preachers, whoever are coming on this forum in the next few days, they are all in the same level. All of us are trying to. And today you may be learning. In another few months, you will also be in the same level. There is no difference, right? That is what it is trying to say, that you can also learn, follow, and preach small things. You don't have to preach big things. Whatever you know, if you start saying, your bhakti increases, and you've given bhakti and mercy to the other person, and Krishna will be very happy when you do that. What is the knowledge about? This is very important. Take a paper and pen and write it down. This comes in many forms, okay? Many places it comes. So what is knowledge? What is transcendental knowledge? It is very simple. First, you have to understand who you are. Understanding who am I. In this creation, sometimes you wake up to that reality and say, I was born, I grew, I got married, I have children, I have to take care of my children, I will die one day. So, what is the point in this? What is the point in doing this? You will start questioning yourself. That is Atatu Brahma Jignasu, which says, who am I? That is when your spiritual life starts. The true spiritual life starts for you when you start questioning, why am I here? What am I doing? Where am I going? right? You will start questioning yourself. Where am I going? Why was I born? Why was I born in this family? All those questions will start coming out. So that first step of spirituality is understanding who you are. Then you will understand that there is a supreme creator. Okay, there is a supreme Lord to whom all this belongs to. The identity of the Lord. See, if you are staying only in this portion, then it is not correct. It is impersonalism. That means aham brahmasmi, right? That concept you will go off to. Don't go to that concept. Progress further. Okay, progress further. Go to the knowledge of, okay, I am the Atma, but there is a super soul above me. I am not equal to that Atma. There is a super soul and he is enabling me. When you come to that understanding, everything as far as your eyes goes, even in your home, including your family and friends, whoever, whatever you see is creation of Krishna. But Krishna doesn't have a creation. Krishna cannot be created. But everything else, for example, if I take this paper, right, this paper also is created by the Lord. If I take a mobile phone, that is also created by, if you keep going back, okay, paper came from trees. Where did trees come? Where did earth come? If you keep questioning, finally you will end up with Krishna. So Krishna is a supreme creator, maintainer of everything, and all this opulence belongs to Krishna. Once you start understanding this in relationship to yourself, that is, you understand Krishna in relationship to yourself, that is a third level of understanding. Okay, this is the highest level of understanding, where you're able to understand the Lord, you're able to envision the Lord and understand your position in front of the Lord. So first, I'll repeat that again. First thing is understanding who I am. Why am I here? What am I doing? What is the purpose of my life? Death should not be the end of me, right? There should be something beyond that. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. So that understanding of who am I is the first level of spiritual understanding. Second level of understanding is I cannot exist by myself. Everything around me cannot exist by itself. There must be a supreme creator who's created all this and who is above me, because I don't have that power to create whatever I'm seeing. And it did not just come from Big Bang theory where two things collided. It is not. Our Prabhu, Suranath Prabhu, gives a beautiful example. Then hit two chairs. Did a third chair come? No. Then how did two material things collide and another material thing come? It does not make sense, right? So understanding that there is supreme creator. The third level is when you see the Lord in relationship to yourself, right? You're seeing the Lord and you understand who you are in front of the Lord. That is a third highest level of understanding. So knowledge apart from these three things, any other knowledge is material knowledge. Only spiritual knowledge you need to have is to know who Krishna is, who you are, and what is your relationship with Krishna, right? If you under any scripture you take, this is what you have to gain from that scripture, and all other things are material and it is temporary, right? Only this knowledge, and whatever knowledge, you may be in step 1, you may be in step 2, you will continue in the next Janma, you will continue from where you've left off. All others, for example, if a person has done PhD and he dies, in the next Janma, nobody will recognize him as a baby PhD. He has to go through elementary, he has to go through all the others. But the Gnana, the true Gnana is not like that. It's not wiped out. For example, if you've done 18-day session and you're so thorough with Bhagavad Gita, Krishna will give you the next level of Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is PhD level. Your understanding, the subtle understanding will remain, right? But the PhD that you've done in, maybe you've done in 2 subjects, that has gone, it's useless, right? Here, okay, that is important. So, who am I? Who is Lord? what is the relationship with me and the Lord. Those three things are the spiritual knowledge that you have to know. That is a transcendental knowledge. If somebody asks you what is transcendental knowledge, the definition is these three things. Okay. Now we'll understand our position in front of the Lord. How are we different from the Lord, right? And the activities, how is Krishna's activities different from ours? And the result of his activities, whatever he does, there is no karma pala for it. Why? Right? In comparison, we'll understand. This first one, I've already explained it to you, that Krishna is eternal and he does not take on a body, and that's why he remembers. And the word or the characteristics or the attribute of the Lord which says that Krishna is eternal and he remembers everything is Achyuta. Achyuta means a person who has a position and he will never fall from that position. See, Krishna was Krishna millions of years ago. Krishna is Krishna today. Krishna will be Krishna in the future also. But we are not like that. We take on different bodies. We are also eternal, but one Janma we may be a monkey, another Janma we may be a tree, another Janma we may be a human. So we can go to that level. Only when we get rid of certain contamination and start doing a karma, we will also raise to that level, right? And we will get some relationship, in some relationship with the Lord we will be like the other devotees today. So they are in some if you look at Yashoda Maya, or if you look at Nanda Baba, or if you look at Gopa Balakas who are playing with Krishna all the time, you will get some kind of a position with Krishna, and that is your eternal position. Okay, till then whatever position you take is not correct. It is all fluctuating. It is all it is all material. Now next is appear by my own will. See, Atmaya Maya. That means Krishna comes because he wants to come. Okay, Krishna comes because he wants to come. There is nobody forcing Krishna to come. But it is not that with our case. Why are we coming? Because of our desires and karma pala. If you have given millions of people food in this janma, to get that food back from them, you have to come. If you've given education to somebody, to get that payback, to get the payback check, you come to this world. If you've hurt somebody, you have to take that also from them. For that also you have to come. If you've done something bad, the same thing should happen to you. For that also you come. So because of karma only, Maya. See, this is Atma Maya and this is Mahamaya. Mahamaya is material. So to acquire that, to go through that, we come. Then Krishna's body and Atma is not different. Everything is Satchitananda. But our body is different from our Atma. In chapter 2, we learned, right? There are one gross, subtle, and there is Atma. So our body is material. And that's why it is originally the Atma is Satchitananda, but the material body is Asat, Asachit, and Nirananda. There is no Ananda. In this material body, there is only suffering. We think we are happy. See, we have a delusion that we are happy. Actually, we are all suffering. Even the highest, wealthiest person or the most beautiful person is thinking he is in delusion that he is happy, but he is not truly happy. No difference in the body and the self. This I told you, that is Advaita. That means it is only one. But in our case, the soul, gross body and subtle body. We have three different things. Soul is eternal, but the gross and subtle are temporary. The subtle is completely wiped out if we get into liberation. Till then, the subtle body will come with the soul. It is attached. First, you have your Atma. There is a second layer, that is a subtle body. There is a third layer, that is a material body. When you die, gross body is left here with soul and subtle body. 2 layers, you go to the next Janma. But in that Janma, if you perform lot of bhakti, you've achieved it, then the subtle body also falls down and only Atma is there, and it will get an entrance into the spiritual world. When you want to enter the spiritual world, you have to enter only with the soul. You cannot enter with the subtle body. And that's why you have to give up the subtle body. The last step before you put your foot into spiritual world is your ego. Okay, till that time ego comes with you, right? If you're able to get rid of that ego, then your foot will be inside the spiritual world. That is how you have to understand. Remembers all births. Krishna is Avyayam because he doesn't have births at all. It actually remembers all births. No, he remembers everything because he does not take on the new body. For him, there is no timeline. He is always existing. But you can take an example of a place. If you're visiting a place, right? You are visiting a place, but a person who is already in that place, it's the same for him. But for you, between May 11th and May 17th, if you were there, you will only remember that, right? But for that person, he remembers everything, right? Because he is always existing. In the same way, Krishna is always existing. But for you, you will remember only that timeline. When you took that body, what happened? The next body, you will forget the previous body. That the present body you will remember, whatever situations happen. So that is how you understand that. And when does Krishna come? The reasons when Krishna comes, right? When there is a decline in religion, and predominantly when there is a rise in a religion. Okay, these are the things, but actually he comes to save his devotees. These may be the reasons, external reasons, but the true reason why Krishna comes is to save his devotees. For that, there is a beautiful story with Akbar and Birbal. When Akbar heard this, he was asking, how come the Lord has to come by himself? Can't he take care of the demons just like that? Why he has to come? And then Birbal doesn't answer him immediately. He actually waits for the right time to answer this. One day they are going on a ship, and then Birbal says, why don't you get your son also on the ship? He will have a good time. Then he brings his son also. While they are looking through the deck from the ship, what Birbal does is he throws the kid into the water. Okay, and Akbar, son is in the water, he immediately jumps into the water. Although there are many soldiers, they are trying to save the boy, he immediately jumps. And then when he comes out, he asks Birbal, what kind of a person you are? Why did you do that? I am the king, don't you know that, this and all. Then he asks him one question, hold on. See, there were so many soldiers, why did you jump? So he says, that's my son, I want to save him. He says, now you understand why the Lord comes. The Lord is very caring to his devotees. He does not believe in somebody else saving them. He believes something happens like Gajendra. I don't know how many of you know the story of Gajendra. Gajendra was an elephant which was caught, his leg was caught in the crocodile. Okay, crocodile caught his leg. And for 1,000 years, he tried to struggle and pull his leg. He couldn't pull his leg. And that time he calls out to the Lord, and he has 29 beautiful prayers to the Lord, and the Lord immediately comes running. And that is the only time it is said that Vishnu doesn't wear his slippers. If you see, Vishnu usually wears his paduka. That was the only time where Vishnu did not wear paduka. The second thing is, that was the only time when he didn't sit on Garuda, but he pulled Garuda. He tried to sit on Garuda and he felt Garuda is very slow. My devotee is calling out to me, he says, and he in fact pulled Garuda and came. Instead of sitting on Garuda, he initially sat on Garuda, but he said the speed is very less for me. My devotee is crying. He pulls Garuda with him. The third thing is, when Vishnu is sitting on the Garuda, there is a hasan, like I don't know what they call it in English also. They put like a hasan to sit, like on the horse also, saddle. The saddle, right? Like that, Vishnu also has. That was the only time when Vishnu did not have a saddle to sit on Garuda. He sat without a saddle, right? So that is the love that the Lord has for his devotees. He will come running immediately. Okay. And I'll give you one more reason and we can move on. I cannot stop because Krishna is so magnanimous and how much he loves his devotees. When Draupadi called out Govinda, she calls out, right? And later he comes and he gives a sari and everything is done. But later, after many, many years in Dwaraka, Krishna is crying in his dreams. When he's sleeping, he's crying. And Rukmini and Satyabhama, especially Rukmini, comes and asks, what happened, Krishna? Why are you crying? Why are you crying in your sleep? He says, when, Draupadi called out to me, Govinda, it took 2 seconds for me to come. Her love in that word Govinda was so much, I'm not able to repay to that. That love was so much, I feel that I fell short to reciprocate to her. And I even went 2 seconds late. And I'm feeling bad even now for that, he says. So that is our Lord. See, when I come to these things, I forget Bhagavad Gita. I start telling all those things. You better stop me. Somebody put a time check so I'll go back. I will go back now. So that is our Lord, right? He is magnanimous. He loves his devotees. There's nothing more dear to the Lord than his devotees. Okay. Reason for his descent and why. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya dushkrutam dharma samsthapanataya sambhavami yuge yuge, to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. See, this is the main reason. Actually, there are many reasons. See, to annihilate the miscreants, to deliver the pious, and to re-establish dharma. But actually, it is to deliver the pious, which is his devotees. If his devotees are in trouble, Krishna cannot take it. He can take anything, but not that. Okay. Result of knowing this knowledge. What is the result? Okay, Mataji, you've been telling this is the knowledge, this is the transcendental knowledge. What is the use of this knowledge? That is what Krishna is going to give us now. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naeti mameti sochuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So here, once you learn Janma, you have to understand that Janma of Krishna is not like the regular birth. It is very divyam. Why? It is very transcendental. It is a spiritual form of the Lord only coming. There is no difference. He does not take the material body. How he came, how he is existing in the spiritual world. I told you, what did I tell you? To go to the spiritual world, you have to give up two bodies, gross body, subtle body. And then what is remaining is the Atma. So Krishna is like that. He does not have a gross body, he does not have a subtle body. And when we enter also, we have only Atma. So when Krishna comes here also to perform his Leelas, it is only the Atma or the spiritual part which comes. There is no material part for Krishna. But many people think that Krishna came, but he came as a human and he became God, or he came inside him, whoever was there is God, but Krishna is not God. There are many concepts. That is not true. None of those things are true. Krishna is the spiritual form, how he is existing in Goloka. He came in the same way. Karma means whatever activities he did, whether killing Putana, or whether stealing butter from other gopis, or playing with the Gopabalakas, or playing with his own mother. All these things are very transcendental. It may look ordinary. Array, my child also steals butter. What is so great? My child also plays with other kids. What is so great? It is actually one Leela. If you take and you unwrap, there is so much in that. Okay, you have to understand Krishna's position, how magnanimous he is, and then understand how he comes and plays like a regular child just to give pleasure to his devotees, just to give that pleasure to all the Gopabalakas, just to give pleasure to adhamas, fallen people of Kaliyugas like us. Just by narrating that and thinking of that, he gives us a lot of pleasure, right? And all our karma is gone, all our sins are gone. So if you understand, I gave you just the tidbits of what that leelas are, but there's much more to it, right? So one who understands that janma and karma of the Lord, even if you understand this much and you think, yeah, I may not understand, but it is divyam. Even if you think like that, then you will not have punarjanma, right? You will not see another mother's womb. That is what Krishna is saying. And you have to understand it in tattvataha, in reality. The real knowledge you have to understand. See, to get to the real knowledge is very difficult because we have imperfect senses and the world is filled with all delusion and illusion, right? So it is very difficult to understand the truth. And then how do I understand? Now your next question would be, okay, you're asking me to understand, I know the benefits of doing it, but how do I do it? We will see that very soon. Accurate understanding, right? What is accurate understanding? Knowledge removes three major misconceptions. What are those three misconceptions? Many people have this thought, especially in India, which says all paths lead to the same destination. An example for that is, if you take a Mumbai ticket, you will go to Mumbai. If you take a Delhi ticket, will you go to Mumbai? No. In the material world itself, if the ticket cannot give you to that destination, how can all paths in spirituality, after you've given up your body, that spirit soul, reach that destination? It is impossible. So that misconception has to be broken. And the caste system. The caste system says, okay, a Brahmana's son will become a pujari, he is the greatest worshipper of the Lord. No, no, it is not like that. If you, another example for that is, a doctor's son has to study in college, get a doctor's degree. Only then will he be a doctor. So this is also a science. It is not just like, and many people follow that, right, without understanding the mantras, without understanding the Sanskrit. And some people don't want to do it, but because of the family tradition, they will accept it and they will do it half-heartedly. Then how can they be the worshippers, or they can be brahmanas, isn't it? So even to get that, shuddhikaran has to happen. We don't come with those qualities sometimes, right? We have to practice that qualities. Yes, in a Brahmana family, when you are born, there is conducive environment, all the necessary things, it may become easy for you to become. Okay, it is easy for you to become a Brahmana because you are born in that culture. You don't eat non-veg, you don't drink, you don't smoke, all that is there. But still you have to do your sadhana to go there, right? You may be having a little bit of previous birth thing, but you have to polish that a little bit to get there, right? You shouldn't think, okay, it is there, whatever I say is correct. No, it is not right. That is what it is saying. The Lord reciprocates according to one's consciousness. This is also a very important shloka. Ye yata mam prapadyante tamstataiva bhajamyaham mam martamanuvartante manushya partha sarvashaha. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. So here what is saying is, see, if a person comes and gives me, the very good example for this, if you go and give a shopkeeper 10 rupees, he will give you one sweet. One sweet costs 10 rupees. If you give him 100 rupees, he will give you 100 sweets, right? 10 sweets. In the same way, Krishna, how much you reciprocate or you show love towards Krishna, that much love he will show. He will show a little more than what you've shown, but there is gradation. A person who's completely always thinking of Krishna is different from a person who goes once in 6 months just to pay obeisance and say, hey, my deal is coming up, in business, you better make me successful. Balaji is there only for that in India, no? All of us go to Balaji when we have exams, or when we've just finished our exams, we go, I'm so sorry if I'm, hurting somebody. I have also done that. After 10th standard exam, I went. I said, I will climb the hill. I climbed the hill and I went. So we all had that concept, right? And Vishnu or Krishna also reciprocated. But now we understand that he's given us so much. He doesn't have to give us anything more, but we just want to love him for who he is, right? If you take husband and wife relationship or parent and child relationship, a wife does not serve husband in the beginning. Maybe she's serving to get something, okay? After a few years that the husband is taking care of her so well, she wants to do it for her husband, just to keep him happy, just to serve him. She respects him. Same thing with the children also. The children want to, in the beginning they are in fear. My parents won't give me the toy, or they won't give me this or that. But once they understand how much their parents love, they just want to listen to their parents. After some time, they automatically start listening because they love their parents. They don't want to hurt their parents. In the same way, we have to have some gratitude towards the Lord who has given us everything. Everything he has given us. Unfortunately, we don't realize. I'll give you a beautiful example and then we'll move forward. There was one person who was disheartened because his lover said no to him, and he goes on a bridge and he wants to jump off the bridge. When he wants to jump off the bridge, there is a sadhu sitting there, and the sadhu says, hey, wait, don't jump, come back. He says, what happened? Why are you jumping? He says, oh, what did the Lord do to me? He did not give me anything. I loved this girl so much, and she said no to me. I have nothing in life. I don't want anything. I just want. No, actually, he says, the girl's father said, if what are you doing? I said, I'm searching for a job and I don't have money. So he said, sorry, I can't give my daughter to you. And that's why, because Krishna has not given me the money or the job, and now I can't get the girl, I'm going to jump. And then the sadhu is very intelligent. He says, hey, you know what? If you're anyway jumping, I can use your eyes. There is a person who does not have one eye and he's ready to give 5 lakhs for one eye. Can you give it? You say, if I'm getting 5 lakhs, I will give my one eye. And then he says, there is another person who is ready to give 15 lakhs for 2 eyes. Will you give both your eyes? He'll say, yeah, I will give. Then the kidney, like that, he will start naming all the parts. And then the sadhu says, see, you just before this, you said Krishna has not given you anything. This body that you have, even if you spend millions and millions of dollars also, all put together, it won't perfectly work. A person who doesn't have a kidney knows the value of having a kidney. Now that the Lord has given everything, especially eyes also, right? Eyes is very important for all of us. A person who doesn't have eyes will know the value of eyes. So Krishna has given. Unfortunately, we are so greedy. We've forgotten how much we have and we've taken from Krishna. So now at least, coming into this transcendental knowledge, at least we should understand Krishna has given us more than we can ask for, more than we can, enjoy. He has given us, right? Nowadays, nobody is in such a bad position where they don't have anything. Krishna has abundantly given everybody everything. And he loves us so much, and that's why he has given us all these things, okay? Now we will understand the different paths. Okay, see, you can worship the Lord. I told you how much you reciprocate, Krishna also reciprocates. There are different gradations. There are the karmis at the lowest grade, that they want to acquire some material gain, and that's why they are praying to the Lord. And the next level, right, and the next level is gyanis. Okay, these gyanis are wanting to go to Brahma Jyoti. Their ultimate destination is Brahma Jyoti. What is Brahma Jyoti? It is the effulgence of the Lord. Okay, that effulgence of the Lord is just, see, there are 3 levels of realization of the Lord. Now, this is very, very important. Okay, just hear me for 1 minute. 3 levels of realization. One is Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaneti Chabhyate. So, first one, what is Brahmeti? Brahmeti means to understand that the Lord is a light. Okay, and the second, that is the Gyanis will only understand impersonal. They don't feel Lord is a person like us. They will feel he is a light. The second one is the Yogis. What do they understand? They only understand that he exists as Paramatma in all of our heart. And what are they interested? They are interested in mystic powers. What are the mystic powers? Anima, Niyama, there are 8 mystic powers where they can walk on water, they can become as small as tiny thing, they can become as big as a thing, and they can become as light as a feather, they can become as heavy as a mountain. So there are many mystic powers. So they are after this mystic powers. Devotee is the one who understands the Bhagavan form of the Lord, and that's why he is very happy, because all these are also correct only, but it is incomplete. An example for this is, say, suppose there is a train coming into a village. Okay, nobody has seen the train. A lady has 3 sons. 3 sons go and stand in the platform to see the train. The first son just sees a light from far. It is dark and he sees a light. He runs home to his mother and he says, train is a light. Okay, the second one, he hears the sound of the train also, and he says, I saw the sound and the light, and he goes and tells his mother, the sound and the light is the train. The third one waits for the train to come and stand in the platform. He goes inside, he looks at each of the compartment, he looks at the facilities given inside, that comes out, and he tells the mother, the train is a light, sound, and it is a physical thing. It is like a room. He will explain it. So all 3 were correct, but the first one who said it is just a light is incomplete. The second one who said light and sound is still incomplete. Only the third one is correct. In the same way, the spirituality also, if you see the effulgence, See, Krishna has a blue hue on his body and there's lot of light coming out because he has so much of power. If you see that light and stop and say, oh, this is Bhagavan, this is the Lord, and if you stop your realization at that point, you are in Brahman realization, where you think that light, that supernatural light is Lord. The second level is where you see Krishna in everybody's heart. Are everybody's heart, Krishna is there. Sometimes we use that word, right? Everybody's heart, Krishna is there. Don't hurt that person, we say. If you stay at that level only, then you are a yogi. But one who understands that Krishna is a person and he wants to have an association with all his devotees like Yashoda Maya, Gopabalakas, Gopis and everything, then you are in the complete understanding. And this Bhagavad Gita gives you the complete understanding, which is the right way to understand the Lord. I think time is up. We'll go quickly in the next few shlokas. Varnashrama dharma, not caste system. This we've already understood that the doctor's son is not a doctor. He has to practice medicine. Chaturvarnyam maya shrishtam gunakarma vibhagasa tasya kartaram apimam viddik akartaram avyayam. According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer and being unchangeable. So here what Krishna is saying is, see, in a society you need all four dharmas. You need a Brahmana, you need a Kshatriya, you need a Vaishya, and you need a Shudra. What is a Brahmana? He is mostly into giving transcendental knowledge and spiritual knowledge. Kshatriya is like a soldier. He wants to defend the country. Vaishya is a business person and he is there only to fill your belly. He takes care of food grains and cows, maintenance of cows. The last Shudra serves all the other three. And Krishna says in the body, in Krishna's body, the head is compared to the Brahmana, the arms are compared to the Kshatriya, the belly is compared to the Vaishya, and the legs are compared to the Shudra. If you cut off your leg, can the rest of the body work properly? No, it won't work. If you take off the head, will it work? No, it won't work. So all four are required. In the same way, for a society to progress towards spirituality, we need all kinds of people, and that comes from our swabhava. Whatever activity we've done in our previous janma, it has caused an impression on us, and due to that impression we take on to a different varnashrama dharma. And Krishna gives that varnashrama dharma. If somebody wants to be a fighter, Krishna gives them that opportunity in the next janma, right? So that they can protect others. But it should not be used to hurt others. That is the delusion we are in. We are using it to hurt others, right? And in Kali Yuga, all of us are Shudras because we all work in a service industry. We are working for somebody all the time. We are not working for ourselves, or we are not doing honorary job. No, we can't survive. We have to. And it's okay. It's okay. From that level only we can rise up. Then next, reactionless karma. This is the other important, the last fourth section of this Bhagavad Gita chapter. Kim karma, kim akarmeti, kavyo api atra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshami yajnatva mokshase asubhat. Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what is action, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortunes. Krishna is saying, see, even a person who's very intelligent also does not know how to do karma, because all of us are getting bound in that karma. I think we've explained quite a bit about this in the yesterday's shlokas, yesterday's chapter, but we will quickly review what it is. Pious activities also, see, karma means it is pious activities. If you're doing any good activity, it is termed as karma. And what does that do? How do you do that? It is pious action. You are following the scriptural injunction and it is good karma. It will give you good benefit. But that good karma you will reap in the next janma. It is temporary. Maybe you're born in a very good affluent family, or you're very good looking, or you have very good education. All these are good because you did some good karma only, it is all coming. But it is temporary. Why? Because it is not permanent. Once that janma is over, it is gone. And because you got that, maybe you're doing vikarma also. You may end up doing bad karma. While enjoying that, you may do bad karma. So Krishna says you have to get out of that. So now we'll understand what vikarma is. Vikarma is exactly opposite of good karma. It is impious, all sinful activities, hurting others. It is against the scriptural injunction, and it fetches sinful reactions. It gives you bad results. Because of that only all of us are suffering. So now you all must have understood how much of vikarma we've done in the last janma, because we are all suffering in this world. Nobody is happy. Now you have to come to the best level, which is akarma, which is doing devotional service. Like yesterday what I told you, sitting in this class, even whether you are pretending to listen or not listening also, it is devotional service only, because you're not doing any karma which binds you. Okay, both pious activities, impious activities, both will bind you. Both will bind you. Even if you do good karma, orphanage you are building, you're giving to hospital, even that will bind you, because you have to come back to enjoy it. That is the binding. And when you come back, there is no guarantee you will do a karma only. You may end up doing vikarma, or you may do a karma, the pious activity, again you have to take janma. The more janmas you take, the more sufferings only. There is no guarantee of liberation. So that's why it is said both pious and impious activity binds you. Now akarma is devotional service. And how do we do this akarma? When you do it to please the Lord, and when it is not done for self, then it becomes akarma. Any activity that you do to please the Lord, whether you learn a bhajan, you cook for the Lord, you clean the temple, you invite somebody to a Bhagavad Gita class, or you talk about Krishna, all these are devotional activities. Now there's a difference for whom. It gives you the three chart, like a chart it gives you. For whom is it done? It is done because you're doing it for self, so it is attachment. Vikarma is also, this is karma, pious activities, impious activities, both are binding. Only akarma, it is done for Krishna and it does not bind you. Attitude according to the Shastras, karma, pious activities, impious activities against the Shastras. And akarma, there is no desire only for sense gratification. You don't want any desire, right? You're only doing it for the happiness of Krishna. Then the result is good reaction. You'll get wealth in the next janma, good education, good looks, whatever it is, right? This one, bad reaction. You will be hurt. You will go through a lot of painful situations in life. All that is bad reaction. Here you will enjoy transcendental happiness. Whether even that janma only it will start, because the sinful reaction goes away. How you are getting happiness is immediately. Tatshana, it is immediate. You don't have to wait for that sins to go away. The minute you start a karma, all the sins are wiped out, and even the next janma is very, very good. Suchi Srimat family you'll be born in. Either you'll be born in a very pious family where there are only brahmanas and devotees, or Srimat family you will be born, even doing a little bit of akarma. That is a guarantee that the Lord is giving. Now the last thing, how do I get this information, right? How do I get this? That is a surrender. That is a surrender to a guru. And what kind of a guru, we will see in a minute. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnenena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam gnaninastatvadarshinaha. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have already seen the truth. A person who's fully realized and who's seen the truth, if you surrender to such a person, they can show you how to do it. If a person is an IAS officer, then he can coach you how to attend the exam, how to study for the exam. If a person has taken multiple times and failed in the exam, and he will tell you, yeah, I failed, but I will teach you how to do, you will not go to that person, isn't it? You need some proof that that person can teach you. This is exactly like that. This person has realized the Lord, right? He has seen, he's reached the ultimate pinnacle of bhakti, and that's why he is able to tell you how to do. And the things that he may not have faced also, he knows, because he's seen the truth. How to approach it in the angle in which you are coming also, he knows, right? He may have gone from western side, right? But you may be coming from the eastern side. He still knows how to get there, right? Because he's already been there. East, west, north, south, everything he knows. That's why it is better to submit to a guru, and humbly. You cannot submit with ego. My position, I am a CEO. May you've seen the Lord, looks like you are doing well. Can you teach me? No, that's not the approach. You have to understand how low I am, because the Lord is very high, and this person who's seen the Lord is also very high. So we have to respect both of them to approach them. That is what it is telling you. Glories of the knowledge from Guru never falls into illusion, crosses the ocean of miseries, destroys all sinful reaction. What is the benefit that you get? Okay, first of all, transcendental knowledge is difficult to get. Now I have to go through the parampara. Now I have to go through all these things. But ultimately, what am I getting? That illusion or delusion that you are in, the dormant sleep you are in, that will be broken. And you will not take birth again. See, this science, this birth and death, Bhavasagara that we call, right? There is no boundary to it. You cannot swim yourself to the shore. There is no way you will find the shore because there is no shore. The only way to get out of this ocean is to by mercy of Guru and Krishna. They have to come and lift you up. Otherwise, you cannot swim your way to the shore because there is no shore, right? And destroys all sinful reactions. See, we have done a lot of sinful reaction because of that. It is pulling us in that ocean. We are trying to swim against the current. It is very difficult. But the only way is Krishna casts his eye on us, all that thing which is pulling us down will be taken out of our life, and we will be able to successfully come out of that ocean. Who can and who cannot achieve this? Faithful, dedicated, controlling their senses. This is regulative principles and being very faithful. You can't just fake your way through bhakti, right? You're not harming anybody, you're harming only yourself. Nobody else you are harming, you're harming yourself. Then the ignorant, faithless, and doubtful of revealed scriptures. People who have a doubt. Here, there is a beautiful example which says that, if you want to know your father, you have to go to your mother and learn. Shastra says the mother, and the father is the supreme lord. So, nobody else can tell you who the father is, only the mother can tell you. And you have to trust your mother, isn't it? In the same way, you have to trust the Shastras. You can't doubt even the Shastras. How do I know that the Shastras is right? We can't doubt the Shastras. That is what it is saying. Sorry, extremely sorry. I'll wrap it up in another minute. So here, today's acronym was years. E stands for eternal knowledge. Who can acquire through parampara system? Only people who are a devotee's friend, they can acquire, and humbly asking to a guru, you will be able to acquire that knowledge. Accurate understanding, the misconception that all paths lead to the same destination, and the caste system, just because you're born as a Brahmana, you are liberated. No, that is not going to happen. Reactionless, there are 3 types of karmas we saw. One is karma, which is pious actions, akarma, which is devotional activities, and vikarma. We should always aim at doing akarma. Vikarma is impious activities. We should always aim at doing akarma so that we don't get bound. Karma bandhan should not be there. Then surrendering. How do we surrender? That means we just listen to the Guru and we trust the Guru. And who is a Guru? Who has seen Tattvataha. He's seen the reality. Tattva Darshina. Darshina means to see. He's seen the reality. To such a Guru we have to submit. And what are the glories of that knowledge? Because you'll be taken out of this Bhavasagara. All sinful reactions are taken out. And you will find transcendental happiness. Who cannot and who can? People who trust, who are faithful, and who are dedicated. That means they take the instructions to the dot and they do it. Others who keep doubting, you can keep doubting for next million or million janmas, still that doubt won't be cleared. You have to start somewhere. So start trusting the Shastras, okay? As Shastras is the mother. Okay, what will we see tomorrow? A quick peek. Stay in the world. 3 doers, equal vision and peace. This is a very important shloka. Any karma that you do, who is actually doing it will tell you. And how to have an equal vision when you see people around you, when you see your own family, when you see your friends, what kind of a vision you should have. And how am I going to get that eternal peace? See, we are still in the material world. We've still not reached the spiritual world. But you can find happiness even here. Although it is a suffering, a land of suffering, you still can find peace in this land. Okay. Quiz is compulsory. Certificates will be given at the end of it. It does not matter how much you score. It matters if you've attempted. Then let's all chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra once. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Namnamakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktihi Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durtaiva Idrisham Ihajani Nanuragaha. So what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying is there are many names of you, O Lord, and you have put all your potency in that name. And there is no niyama, there is no set rules when I have to chant. Smarane means when I have to chant those names, right? And Etadrishi Tava Kripa, you put your out of causeless mercy, you've put all your effort in giving me this nama. Durdaiva, I'm so unfortunate that I'm not able to chant. I don't have taste to take your name. I don't have that anuraga, that means that love to chant your name. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than Krishna in devotee form. He came to show how devotion has to be done. And he tells 8 verses. Of the 8 verses, this is the second verse. This is our Lakshmi Narsimha Lord in HBR temple. This is our Gandharvika Giridhari and Srimati Radharani in HBR temple. This is the HBR temple. I'm so sorry and thank you so much for this opportunity. I took, I think, 15-20 minutes more. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much. Over to you, Atul Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Any questions on today's topic? You can raise your hand. Yes, please. Can you name yourself? FB2231. Please go ahead. Can you switch on your
Hare
camera,
Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Mathaji.
Hare Krishna,
FB.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Actually, this
Hare
name,
Krishna.
this name is because, the kids log into various this one classes wherein they have
No
to put some
worries.
roll numbers and all. This is Santosh on the line, Mataji, this side. Mataji, a small query I'm having. When we see the pictures of Mahavishnu and Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, there's a little difference which I couldn't understand. In Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, we can see Lord Lakshmi Mataji sitting near the feet of the Lord, whereas in Mahavishnu's picture, Mahalakshmi is not seen. So,
Okay. Okay. So it is different functions of Vishnu, right? So the first form of Vishnu, he is in transcendental sleep, right? At that point, the depiction shown is that he's creating the worlds. Where did you see that, Prabhu? Which thing did you see? Where did you see that picture? Santosh Prabhu? So it is actually depicting the functions of each, the Karana, the Kashai Vishnu or the Mahavishnu. His although the photo may not show it, what it is saying is that the function of that Lord, when he is in transcendental meditation, the words are coming out of it. Okay, and when it is Garbhodakashai Vishnu, there is Brahma getting created and he's opened his eyes at that time, and that's why Lakshmi is seen. And in Kshirodakashai Vishnu again, right, his function is to enter into every Atma as Paramatma. So it's mostly the function which is shown, Prabhu. It is not the real Vishnu, right? The Vishnu's manifestation, depending on their function, it is shown. And don't take it with the literal thing why Lakshmi ji is not there.
yeah, thank you, Mataji. Actually, I was muted, so couldn't answer your query. This I had seen in the Bhagavatam book, Mataji. This is in the Canto 2, wherein
Canto
there
2.
are various plates are being shown, and then you have those pictures.
Correct. So I was about to ask, where is it? Because creation had to be shown. Their main intention, if you look at Bhagavatam Canto 2, the entire canto is creation, how creation happened. So to depict that, they have shown. It's not that Lakshmi is missing. Okay, Lakshmi is always part of Vishnu. Even though if she is missing, she is in the Vakshasthala. So it is not that she is missing. Just to depict the functionality, they have shown that. Otherwise, Krishna, Vishnu and Lakshmi are always together. Does that make sense, Prabhu?
Yes, yes, Mataji, completely. Mataji, one more query if time allows, and if
Go ahead, Prabhu. Go ahead.
yeah. Again, in the second canto, the description of Lord is given. Like, he's having the Kaustuba Muni, Kaustuba
Mm.
Muni, and he is decorated by various ornaments, and he has a garden. Plus, reference is given to that of yellow color flowers. He is having anything like any takeaways from this, Mataji? Like, why the description is given like this? This is just a simple description that we have to understand.
Which one? You're saying the description of the Lord?
Yes, yes. When the Lord is described in the four-handed form, that is of the when he is entering
Vishnu.
into the soul. Yes, yes. So at that time, all this description is given for the Lord.
It is actually the way it is seen, Prabhu. All the acharyas and all the others have seen the Lord in that form, and the Lord exists in that form. If you see the Pitambara is the color that he wears all the time.
Yes,
So he's always seen in that, and he wears the garland of forest flowers, right? It is
right.
not any other flowers, it is forest flowers. So each of it has a Leela. Each of it has a Leela associated to that, and the Lord manifests. See, why did Varaha Avatara happen? Why did Matsya Avatara happen? Why did Narsingha Avatara happen? See, depending on the mood of the devotee, the Lord manifests. Okay, here
Oh,
the closest of the devotees envision the Lord in Pitambara Vastra with the garland, right? And that's why he manifests like that. Any manifestation of the Lord is for the pleasure of his devotees. One. Two, even the his arrangement, his decorations on the body, it is said that every 10 seconds, I don't remember the time, he keeps changing it just to attract his devotees.
okay.
Yeah. Vishnu Sahasranama also says, I think, right? Pitambara Varna or a Shweta Varna or Pitambara Varna. Either one of them they will use.
Yeah, Shvetambara, yeah, it talks about this.
Correct. Correct. That is because the devotees want to see the Lord like that, and the Lord manifests in that way. And that's why he's described like that. In Bhagavatam, throughout Bhagavatam, you will see Pitambara Varnam only for Krishna. He's always in yellow garment because his devotees want to see him in yellow garment. Whether he's lifting up Govardhan, or whether he's in the forest running around, or when he's playing with his friends or with the cows, right? You'll always see him with Pitambara Varnam.
Yes, Mataji, right.
It
Thank you so much,
each
Mataji.
of it, each of it is a love of a devotee. Whatever Krishna is wearing or Vishnu is wearing, it is the love gift of a devotee, including the peacock feather or the Kaustuba Mani, everything. Nagapatni is actually given to Krishna in Bhagavatam. When you read Canto 10, or Krishna book, not Canto 10, Krishna book, the Nagapatni is actually out of their love, they give it to Krishna, the Kaustuba Mani.
Right, right, Mataji. Yes. Thank you so much,
Hare
Mataji. Thank
Krishna.
you so much.
Yes.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mala Singh Mataji
Yes,
is
Prabhu.
asking about karma.
Akarma, right? Yeah. So, Mala Mataji, anything that you do for the Lord, whether you're attending this class, when you're attending this class, there may be 1 or 2 seconds you were thinking of the Lord, but the 1 hour that you attended, you actually did a karma. Why you did a karma? Because there was no bondage. Why there was no bondage? Because it was not centric towards you. You did that for Krishna. You were thinking of Krishna. So, any activity, any devotional activity, even Mataji's do garland, right? Or that wick, for the deepam, you do wick, right? That with cotton, that is also considered a karma because you're doing it for Krishna. The minute you turn it towards yourself, then it becomes karma or vikarma. If you are trying to cook something really spicy for somebody whom you don't like, that is vikarma. If you're trying to cook for yourself gulab jamun, that is karma. If you're trying to cook beautiful gulab jamuns for Krishna, then that is akarma. Hope that helps, Mataji. Reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, any of the devotional books, singing a bhajan, doing japa, being in association with devotees, doing Mangalarati to Krishna, cleaning the temple, not outside temple, your home temple only, cleaning the temple, keeping the house clean for Krishna because Krishna lives in that house, right? Cooking for Krishna, cleaning the kitchen because you want a beautiful kitchen when you want to cook for Krishna. All this becomes a karma. It depends on what the intention of doing karma. If the intention is to serve the Lord, any karma of this world can be transformed into a karma, right? But if you're doing it for yourself, then it becomes karma. And not doing it for yourself, it is like, honorary job, going and working in an orphanage, doing volunteering work, giving money for college and schools and everything, doing any charity. All these things will become karma, pious, good activity, right? But you try, all that will bring some good fortune to you. That good fortune will cause karma bandhana. So akarma is the only thing which is not making you stick to this world. And the knack or the trick of doing it is to serve the Lord. Doing karma to serve the Lord. Hope that helps, Mala Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Any question? Otherwise, we will end the session.
I think Kishan Prabhu has something. He says people don't know how to do Nevedya. So there are certain mantras you have to chant to do Nevedya. But till we come to that, I think in the 9th chapter, it is more detailedly explained. But for now, just offer it to the Lord with Tulsi on top of it. And as much as possible, cut the fruits the way that you eat it. Don't keep the entire banana. Peel the banana, put it into a bowl and keep it in front of Krishna, right? But I'll put a little bit of tulsi on it, right? See, when you keep the banana as is, Krishna becomes a thing. He doesn't become a person, right? You have to put it as if you're eating it, right? So put it in that way. Orange, peel it. Peel the orange and put it in front of the Lord. For now, just do with peeling things as you eat it. How you put it in your mouth, bring it to that state, put it in a bowl and offer it to Krishna. And put one tulsi leaf on that. Water. Easiest is water or milk, right? And don't give hot boiling milk for Krishna. Krishna will burn his tongue. So give room temperature, how much you will drink, and put little bit of sugar. I know people stay away from sugar, but still, Krishna loves sweets. So put little bit of sugar at least in that milk. Otherwise, that milk is, very bland. So put little bit of sugar and put a little tulsi, just one tulsi leaf, and offer it to the Lord. For now, just do that. You don't have to chant any mantra. Bhavagraha Janardana, right? He looks at your love inside your heart. He doesn't look at how well you are chanting the mantra or whether you are putting at 6 o'clock only, whether you are putting at 8 o'clock. He doesn't see all that. Any time of the day, you can offer it to Krishna. Just wash your hands and face and legs and offer it to Krishna. Hare Krishna, Atul Prabhu. I think we can
Thank you,
end
Mathaji, for
this session.
giving the insights on the offering of the food, fruits, and everything to the Krishna.